Right, we're live.
Hello, world.
How we doing?
Welcome from Louisiana in the United States of America. We are looking at Red Stripe. Hooray, beer!
Hey, all the way from Yorkshire. Coming from, where is it from?
Jamaica. It's from Spanish Town Road, Kingston, Jamaica. Products of Jamaica, money back bottle. So if we wanted to take this back to Jamaica, we get money back for it.
Oh, good. Now,
There you go.
contains barley. Mine says well, it says beer. Let's see. It says here we go. Brewed and bottled by Red Stripe Beer Company, Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Well,
Oh, yeah. Mine's brewed and bottled by Desno and Geddes Limited from Jamaica. So basically, contains barley, Red Stripe lager beer.
now let me ask you this question. Do you have a painted on label? Because mine is a painted label on a plastic stick-on.
No, mine's
On the bottle.
mine's actually etched on.
Painted on the bottle.
Yeah, when we used to get the Red Stripe beers from Jamaica, it was painted on the glass. But this,
Yeah.
the American versions, is actually a sticker you could peel off if you really wanted to do that.
Yeah, there's no sticker on this. It's all etched onto the.
That's similar to Stone as well. They do. They don't.
Yeah,
Stone do it.
I think a few breweries that do it nowadays.
Now, I am Louisiana Beer Reviews. I am
Yes, you are.
I am meeting with Stuart and Andrew from Yorkshire, England. Now, let's point out the similarities between England, Yorkshire, England, the United Kingdom, Jamaica, and North America, Louisiana, and the United States. We were all at one time ruled by England. Of course, you are in the mother country, England.
Mm.
Oh, well, I
It's not
guess
like ruled by someone else.
Louisiana was ruled by France and Spain. Oh, okay. Also, Jamaica, the Queen of Jamaica is still Elizabeth II. Excuse me, I was choking on pepper. And she is still the Queen of England, so they share the same monarch and the same legal system. Okay. Another interesting fact. Desno and Geddes were two Englishmen who were living in British Jamaica in the 1920s, and they started a beer company. Their first beer was Dragon Stout, which predated Red Stripe.
Mm.
Then in 1928, they came out with Red Stripe beer, and they said on the website that it used to be a dark beer. I'm looking right here. It says the first Red Stripe beer was heavy and dark, more like an ale.
Yeah.
But now it's a light lager, 4.7% alcohol. Here's a can. We do get cans in some places. It's not too common.
Yeah, cans are so easily available here, but I wanted for this to try the actual Red Stripe from Jamaica.
Yeah, well,
I think the cans made in England.
I think the sort of somewhere in Newcastle, somewhere where they used to do a lot of Fosters and Carlsbergs.
Yeah.
it's a British-produced can version, eh?
Yeah.
What size bottle do you have?
350.
Oh,
I think. 340.
a little baby bottle.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was £11 for a 6-pack,
3, 4, 1.
or £180 for a single. But I really wanted the one Just, I was going to get the can as well, so you could see the comparison between the two. But I was like, mate, bag full. It's slightly grainy, a little bit of skunkiness in there, a little bit of sweetener.
Mm.
Now, what?
Sweet malty, sort of.
Now I'm eating this very hot sausage with split pea soup, and I think Red Stripe goes well with spicy foods. But let me say this: this bottle is a 24 ounces, which is 710 milliliters.
Big boy bottle.
A big boy, 710 milliliters. I bought it for $2.99, which would be about what, 2 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, about £1.80, something like that.
Is that a fair deal?
We're going to be eating later. We've all just got in. But yeah, I mean, majority of times I've had this, I've been drinking in nightclubs, like rock musics and stuff like that, where they'd have the preferred can was basically Red Stripe. The preferred ale was Old Goblin. The preferred dark beer was Guinness.
Yeah.
Now Guinness owns Guinness owns Desno and Geddes today.
Yeah.
Now the aroma I'm picking up, now remember this is the American-made version. About 4 years ago, they started producing it in America at City Brewing in Pennsylvania, and I noticed that right off the bat because, I believe it was 2012. 3 years ago, they said instead of Jamaican lager, it said Jamaican style lager, and I said, uh-oh, and I looked at the bottle. I said, Pennsylvania, we get so many foreign beers today in America that are produced in America. They're just the foreign recipes, but they're U.S. produced. Like
mine says brewed in Jamaica.
Yeah, well.
Drink responsibly, and it just contains barley, but it's tasting like, a little bit like corn.
Now, Andrew talked about the barley sweetness. I'm picking that up, but I do pick up corn, I think.
Does your bottle tell you the energy, the protein, the carbohydrates, and the fat?
It says, for over 80 years, Red Stripe has embodied the spirit, rhythm, and pulse of Jamaica and its people. It says, consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability. Now, to do different things. No, it doesn't list anything. It just says DG, Desno Geddes, and we don't. Most beers in America don't list the ingredients.
It's not got the ingredients. It's got the nutrition information.
Okay.
We've noticed that a lot in lagers. People prefer zero this, zero fat, zero sugar, zero salt.
Sort of referring to.
Yeah, well, this doesn't tell you to not drink it when pregnant. This doesn't tell you to do not operate a vehicle like a normal beer as well. But it just says the nutrition. It says drink responsibly. It says contains barley.
No.
It's a product of Jamaica and it's made in Jamaica.
Yeah, mine doesn't. The can nor the bottle gives me much information. Now, let me ask you this: do you get Red Stripe Light in your country?
No, we only get the one Red Stripe, but we get two variations. We get the one that's made in UK and the one that's made in Jamaica.
No.
So I'm guessing there's a slight change in flavour, but only a fraction.
Yeah, to get that from a Jamaican shop though.
Yeah, I had to get this from a specialty shop.
Whereas the Red Stripe from a can is like mass produced in supermarkets.
Yeah, the can's the one that's mass produced, the one that they send to the major breweries. I'm guessing yours is made by a major brewery.
Yeah, right. City Brewing. So City Brewing has 3 breweries: Wisconsin, Memphis, Tennessee, and Pennsylvania. So they do a lot of brewing. They brew the Guinness American Blonde American Lager.
Yeah.
They do Guinness Blue.
Um,
It does taste a little bit different than the original Red Stripe, but I don't guess it's profoundly different.
I think I prefer the canned version. In fairness.
On the taste note, though, you do get that on the taste. You do get that soft tone of barley, which tends to knock it sort of neutral, like water.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about lemon? I get a little lemony.
I get a little lime citrus.
Lime. Have you ever been to Jamaica?
No, I don't get paid enough for the job.
I've never been to Jamaica either. I have been to the Bahamas, but they have their own beer there on those islands. They have a beer called Calique.
Yeah.
And Calique Gold, the malt liquor.
We get other variations from Jamaica, but it's mostly malty lagers and flavoured lagers. Andrew's a fan of the Guinness for an extra, but there's 4 or 5 different variations of the for an extra. There's the Irish variation, there's the Nigerian variation. I think there's also the one from Amsterdam. But I think there's some more, but.
Well, like I said, there's the 8% one as well.
Yeah.
And there's that new barrel. I don't know what it's about. I just saw it in a big bottle of it.
It has that almost aroma like sweaty socks.
In 1993, Guinness purchased Desno and Geddes.
Yeah.
It says this beer, Red Stripe, the one we're drinking, was developed in 1938, the lighter gold, by Paul H. Cotter, the son of a founder, E.P. Cotter, and Bill Martindale. It has been brewed under license in the UK by Bedford-based brewers Charles Wells since 1976, and it was first introduced in the United States in 1985.
I do find it weird that you've got the major brand, which is Guinness, then the sub-brand, which is DG, and then the DG have sub-brands like Red Stripe, they have all these other. And DG normally deals with the non-alcoholic drinks, but they do have a few lagers. They have the Red Stripe, I think they've got a few others. Like you said, there's a light, there's gold.
Now, do you get the Dragon Stout?
I've got that in the cellar. I purchased it from the same shop because, like I said, it had all these special Jamaican-style soft drinks and beers. Now, I know you wanted to do the Dragon Stout in a few weeks or something like that.
I have to find it. It's very hard to find in America. I don't know if I can find Dragon Stout. It could be.
I did manage to find the Irish for an extra and the Nigerian for an extra, just in case.
Yeah, I have foreign extra stout from Ireland as well. And how about if we look at that next week, since we're on the Guinness bandwagon?
Can do, yeah.
Next week. I guess Guinness, Diageo, which is a huge company. I don't know if you drink spirits or wine, but they own an enormous array of spirits like Johnny Walker. It's a famous whiskey,
I'm a fan of the Johnny Walker.
Yeah, I think the gold label is really nice. I've seen it now, it's like nearly 40 quid a bottle now.
It's more available now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more available now. But before it was like 80 to £100 a bottle.
But I'm guessing that was back when it was just Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
But now it's part of a bigger company. They can actually lower the price and offer you the same products.
Yeah, Stuart and I have talked about that, and Andrew a little bit lately, about how you get these obscure beers, and they get bought by a huge company, and then they become widely available, but yet the flavor doesn't really change. Now, we've gotten some controversy on Facebook. You posted left, and, oh, no, you can't post that. Take that down immediately. You're an enemy of the beer world. And then you put the Jamaican You know, you put Red Stripe, and I noticed some negative comments.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why a lot of people, when they go from drinking lager, they forget. They go, oh, we've got to only drink craft beers now. We can only drink craft beers. But then they'll go out when they're buying clothes. They don't buy handmade jackets. They buy the designer jackets like Nike and Reebok, and that's all that is. These big companies.
I mean, it's like something you put up, the Colt 45 double malt liquor. That sounds really good, that.
Oh, yeah, that's hard to find here. You're talking about the Colt 45 double malt liquor. That is...
My dad used to drink that Colt 45.
Your dad?
Yeah.
When it was available in the UK.
But not the double malt.
But back to this...
Okay.
I have to say, out of all the lagers we've had, from Foster's, from Australia, from Heineken and stuff like that, Peroni, I'm not a fan of the bottled version, but I do like the canned version, which kind of I regret now not buying the canned version, but I wanted to visit.
Do you get slight honey smell?
Honey?
Just not sweet.
Hold on.
Because when we were trying some Eastern European beers, you got that honey smell. I think you get the same there.
Yeah, very mild, but it's there. You know, I was never a huge fan of Red Stripe, you know, saying, oh, it's so wonderful, I just can't get over how much better it is than Budweiser or Coors or Miller or Pabst Blue Ribbon. You know, it always tasted similar to those.
Yeah.
To me, it was just the Budweiser of Jamaica, and it really wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't really popular here until.
Well, I had it in California. I was at a ska club in California, and they were drinking Red Stripe in cans, along with right next to Stone IPA, which is like.
In between the beers. You know
yeah. Even though I've not enjoyed it totally now. I will still buy it again, but just a can version.
I've never had it on draft.
Yeah, well, we used to have it on draft, but
certain bars sell it on draft over here. But I'm also getting like a natural yogurt taste, like.
Well, that might be the barley or something. I mean, sort of soft, grainy.
Like we've said before, me and Jay, it's nice to revisit these beers, because we drink all these different kinds of craft beers from across the UK, USA, and Europe and America. It's nice to revisit beers that help us broaden our palate.
Yeah, and it doesn't make us an enemy of beer, or it doesn't mean we hate craft beer. I mean, after all, we drink that stuff all the time.
And it goes back to the other things. Like, I would rather drink my own urine. I would rather lick pebble stones. I would rather drink this. No, you wouldn't. If you put this on the table next to a jar of urine, you wouldn't drink the urine. You'd basically not drink either. Just say, I wouldn't drink that. That's more understandable.
Yeah, I don't know why people have to be so dramatic. They could just say something like, I don't really like it too much.
Yeah.
Just say no.
Yeah. They go berserk and
I'll progress from that. So I don't want to go back to that.
Oh, yeah. You used to have that attitude, huh?
Yeah. Oh, one bar went to, they had Wells and Young, they had John Smith's, and I think they had some sort of cider. And Andrew went, I'm not drinking John Smith's, I'm not drinking Wells and Young. I'm a craft beer drinker, I'll drink that. I said, well, that's worse than those two. And it was like Strongbow, I think, or Bulmers or something like that.
Yeah.
You chose that over. That's worse, well, it's a lot worse than what the other two are.
I know, it's sort of, you get that initial mind of, I know what that tastes like, so I don't need to touch that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we knew what that tastes like, but it was nice to revisit it. I mean, I have to say that the can, even though it adds that little metallicness, I think that sometimes that metallicness helps certain beers.
Let me
get. John Frost in can's terrible these days, but it's not as good as it used to be.
I pick up a faint barley. The hoppiness is very low. I think if we took Budweiser, Carling, Red Stripe, and we lined them up and we didn't know which was which, I don't know if we'd be able to tell them apart.
Well, I think the Budweiser is a bit more...
Well, this is good. Budweiser is a little more crisper, but more refined. You can taste a light bit of natural yogurt, pepper, lime, citrus. We noticed the difference between the Beer Marotte and the Peroni. The Beer Marotte is a little bit more maltier, but it's got more fuller body, whereas the Peroni is like sharp, crisp.
Yes, but in the blind taste test, some of the things I thought were true.
Yeah.
Turns out I didn't know what I was talking about.
Well, none of us really know. And that's the thing, it's all, what's the word? It's all judgmental. It's basically, you could like that 1 minute, and then you could open another bottle, and you'll not like it. It's just basically, you're all there.
Yeah. Now, what is your opinion of Carling? We don't get Carling here. We do get Carling Black Label in a few northern American states like Ohio, but it hasn't been in Louisiana for 30 years or more. But what now?
I work cash and carry, and we sell loads of it. But in fairness, I've had it a few times, and it's just watery with a little touch of grain. It's not for me, but even though I do like revisiting lagers, the majority of the lagers we revisit are majority European style lagers, like Polish, Lithuanian, Czech. We like revisiting them.
Yeah.
Right. Now this Red Stripe, it can't hold a candle to the Peroni or the Birra Moretti. No.
See, I like the Birra Moretti when I'm eating food. This worked well, but it won't hold up to pairing with food as well as Birra Moretti.
No.
Now, Peroni, it's a lovely drinking alone beer. Does it pair well with food? No, but it's still got more of a sharp kick to it than the Red Stripe.
I got the Gun Reserve on that one.
Yeah,
that has a bit of a
maltiness. And there's the Doppler one as well.
Yeah, I never got to try that one. So you said in the store you work, they sell a lot of Carling, huh?
Yeah, it is. Carling and Carlsberg are the majority of the bigger brands, and then they got Foster's.
Do you stop each customer and lecture them on why they should not be drinking this beer and give them a big down?
Because the majority of the customers, they prefer those kind of beers because the majority of the time they'll buy them to take to parties, house parties and stuff like that. Basically, it's to socialise. It's a socialising drink, lager.
Not a contemplative drink.
No, I mean, one friend once called it a social lubricant because the more you drink, the more social you get.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little too social. We've all been there.
Yeah. And some people drink and they want to fight.
Yes. Well, Stella. A friend of mine says to me, when are you going to do a Stella review? I says, if I start drinking Stella, I won't stop drinking because it's such a nice beer, but it's a dangerous beer because they call it wife beater over here.
Right.
And it's true. A lot of people that have drank too much Stella, they get very violent. And I don't know what it is because it's always Stella that people get violent drinking. And I don't know what it is.
Well, you said something about corn or something.
But, yeah, you get that. It's like sweetener, natural yogurt. But yeah, as in final, I mean, would you recommend Red Stripe to others? No, but if you see it in a club, it's a safe bet.
I would only recommend it in the sense that, yeah, go ahead and try it once. It won't.
No.
It's worth a try, but I wouldn't recommend it as an everyday drinker because it's overpriced.
Yeah, and it's not really a sit-at-home beer. I mean, when I sit at home, I like to have a cider, or I like to have something that feels rewarding.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's more of a when it's in a nightclub or in a rock club, I'll buy it.
Where you're not really bothered if you knock it over.
No, like Newcastle Brown is a safe bet in a rock club.
Well, that used to be a sit-at-home beer. You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
Because that was like a really sort of English style ale, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a shame. It's a shame you can't get all the elaborate varieties of Newcastle that we get.
Mm. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, a lot of breweries now do that. Especially, we've noticed that with J.W. Lee's, Newcastle Brown. A lot of times they brew special recipes just for the US market. J.W. Lee's out of Manchester, they do the Harvest range for the American market.
The aged port barrels and whiskey barrels, and we picked some of them up when we was in Ohio.
Yeah.
All right. And you got all that port whiskey from like it's been aged in, and but the thing is you couldn't get them in the UK. There was only.
It's like Newcastle. They do a lot of themed beers. I mean, it's like a big company using the British Newcastle Brown name with American slogans. Like I think you had Wolverine or something, and there's got like Devils. Something.
We had Blonde Bombshell.
Yeah.
Werewolf. Scotch Ale. Trying to think of the others. Cabby. Winter Black Ale. Didn't see Cabby this year. They're starting a whole series. They call it the collaboration series. The Scotch Ale was just the first of many they claim.
And I think they own Caledonian now, and Caledonia now brewing USA as well. For USA.
We don't get any Caledonian branded beers here. I was looking on the Caledonian website, and there's a whole array of beers, but we don't get any of them. But except for I guess Newcastle, but we don't get any of the actual Caledonian beers. It's a huge array. If you look on the website, it's pretty extensive.
Yeah, I mean it's all sub brands anyway, but.
All the engine oil, is that one of them?
No, that's different. That's that.
Harvest Ale. So.
We do get those.
Harvest Ale.
Yeah, we get that. Engine oil.
There's one that's for you to try is old engine oil, which is quite popular from Harvest Ale.
We get Adnams. We get what's that one I'm trying to think of? Hell, I can't think of it. Excuse me.
St. Peter's.
Yeah.
What was it?
Fuller's.
Yeah. Bateman's.
But anyway. Losing the stream. Anything final to say about the Red Stripe, DG and Guinness family brand?
Well, I would say that it's an okay beer. I mean, it's fine to look at, but like you say, losing the stream. With a beer like this, it's easy to lose the stream because there's not a lot to keep you in the mainstream with it. It's easy to go off on tangents because it's so
it's easy to lose your focus.
Yeah. Now, if I was in Jamaica, I could probably be more focused because I'd be in Jamaica on a tour.
It's social beer. End of the day, it's a social beer.
Yeah.
Enough for partying, man.
So next week, Guinness.
Foreign extra stout. Now I bet we'll be able to focus on that.
So you all come down to Louisiana, Yorkshire.
And you take care. Goodbye.